I feel like we go out here and we take all this other shit thinking it's gonna, like, I used to take a lot of pills, and I feel like I've replaced them as an adult with vitamins, like my new trippy kit.
I'm like 33 years old, carrying my little vitamin case with me in my purse. Have to eat a digestive enzyme with every meal.
Me too.
Welcome to the Manifest Mental Health Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Smith, certified spiritual life coach and NLP practitioner, bringing you all things motherhood, manifestation, and mental health. This podcast is for you if you're ready to expand your consciousness and stop losing your shit. Whether you're a mom like me out here trying to break generational curses, or you just want to learn how to take better care of your mind, body, and soul, you're in the right place. It's time to break free from your depression and anxiety and start creating a reality that you don't want to escape from. Let's go manifest mental health.
Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the podcast. Or if you're here for the first time, welcome to the podcast. This week, I had my friend Haley. Haley is a holistic health coach, and she specializes in Lyme disease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And really, she's always been so knowledgeable about health. We're always like sending each other like healthy shit to get at the grocery store or new supplements to try. And I was like, I just have to have her on here because she knows her shit. So
thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. We've been like putting this off forever. It's been a long time coming.
We? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It was we.
So since this is Manifest Mental Health, if you had one piece of advice for your younger self when it comes to taking care of your mental health, what would that be?
First of all, like getting outside, getting fresh air, getting sunlight. That is so important. Connecting with nature, going on a nature walk. Just get out of your environment. If you feel like crap at home, get out. Go do something fun that's going to like reset your mindset and go home and take care of what you got to take care of at home. But also your diet. It plays a big role in your mental health. You can't eat like crap and not expect to feel like crap. Physically, mentally, emotionally.
Definitely. And I love what you say about going outside because it's so true. Even your kid, like if your kid's not being good, just take them outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it just automatically, I think it improves my day by at least 50%. Even like if I'm feeling like shit, it does.
Yeah.
And so, the eating thing, I knew we were going to go into that. I knew we were going to go into what we should eat.
Okay, but like your diet literally is everything. It is everything from your mental health to your physical health, your spiritual health. Like it matters. It really matters. A lot more than what we're taught here in the U.S., especially like growing up. Now it's like more talked about, more discussed. But like I grew up on Hot Pockets and macaroni and cheese, microwavable.
Pizza rolls.
Yes.
Pizza rolls. So
Burger King.
Why do you think that is? Why is our mental health impacted so much by the foods that we eat?
So what you eat definitely impacts your gut health. Your gut is pretty much like your second brain, if not your first brain, honestly, because what you put into your body definitely matters.
So if we want to like start feeling better, what are some foods that we can put in our body?
Okay, first of all, avoid processed foods.
And what are processed foods? Like for people that don't know.
Not whole foods, not vegetables.
For the people that are still eating pizza rolls, pizza rolls are an example of the processed foods.
Okay, so I'll just go over like the best foods for your mental health are going to be whole foods, organic vegetables, organic fruits, nuts, seeds, anything that has like omega-3 fatty acids, walnuts, salmon, chia seeds.
Because our brains are made of fat, so they need fat.
Yes. And the Mediterranean diet is really good for people struggling with their mental health.
Is that the one where it's like fish and chicken?
Mm-hmm. It's like fish, olive oils, nuts, seeds.
Yeah,
and also the paleo diet can help.
They're kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so what are some other foods that we want to avoid?
Fast food, fried foods, anything that's not on the outer parameters of the grocery store, those middle aisles, they're junk. There's no nutritional value in any of those middle aisles. So you want to shop on like the outside of stores where the produce is on the outside. I don't really do dairy, but dairy is on the outside.
Yeah, dairy. I'm still finding like whether or not dairy, but it can.
So dairy can cause a lot of issues with inflammation. I struggle with that myself, so I do try to cut it out. But cheese is good.
Yeah,
Queso
it
is
tastes
good.
It tastes good, but it's about how are you going to feel afterwards.
Literally,
I think that's
literally.
we grow up and we're eating food because we feel good in that moment, but you don't think about how you're going to be feeling later.
Yeah. So that'd be like you live to eat, not eat to live. No, wait. You eat to live, not live to eat.
We want to eat to live. But
Yes.
probably a small part of me will always live to eat.
I mean, don't like hold yourself back from it. Don't like, if you want like a slice of cake, have a slice of cake. Don't have a slice of cake every day.
Yeah, it's all about like finding that balance.
For sure. And like what works for you might not work for me. So
Yeah, everyone's body
as
is
a health
different.
coach, I do base everything off that specific person. It doesn't matter how many case studies I've done or what works for me. Like, it's not going to work for everybody else. So I want to get like the most detailed information about you that I can and like help you in your diet and your problems. So.
Yeah, because everybody's body is different. Like
Yeah.
our genetic makeup is different. Like
Everybody
our gut health
metabolizes
is different.
everything differently.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Also, since we're talking about gut health, probiotics are great. Also, eat in fermented foods like sauerkraut. I think of my great grandma when I think of sauerkraut, but like,
Ooh.
hey,
But is it like kimchi?
kind of. It's fermented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like kombucha?
I don't like kombucha, but there's certain flavors that are good.
Yeah.
But
I
it's like an acquired taste.
I found like maybe 2 brands I like, but also not buying it from the store is better. So like making it at home. I don't make it, but I've had like at home and it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, I do drink kombucha, but it's not like there's some stuff that you have to do to be healthy, and it's not always going to taste good. There are healthy foods that taste good, but not all of them. But I just think about like somebody that gets drunk. You're trying to obtain a goal. So when you're trying to like obtain that goal of getting drunk, you drink beer. And it doesn't taste good. But when you're trying to be healthy, sometimes you got to drink some shit that ain't that good.
Also, since we brought up our diet, I'm going to bring up supplements because our diet is the standard American diet, is the SAD diet. It makes you sad.
Literally.
It really does. But we do not get all the nutrients we need from our food. We used to a long time ago, but now everything's like genetically modified.
And the soil is like nutrient deficient.
Oh, yes, for sure.
So what
like,
are some supplements?
Are I try to start with a diet, but sometimes you just gotta take supplements in this day and age. So some supplements that are good for depression would be like a vitamin B complex. That's going to help with stress and anxiety. It's going to help your liver in the like phase 2 detox process when you're, I just went blank.
Methylation.
Yes.
Methylation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The methylation process.
Is the methylation like something that can cause mental health problems?
Yes, if you're not methylating things properly, then you're not detoxing properly. So that's going to be stored toxins in your body, and that's definitely going to have an effect on your brain. Like, for sure.
Yeah, your brain.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong with the B complex. It helps like the whole body pretty much. It covers like the nerves, protects the nerves, so it's just a good one to start with. Also, there are like homeopathic remedies. I work at a health food store where we do sell supplements, and then I also have the online shop. So there are homeopathics on there that we may not carry in the store. So we do have that. And then
I'm going to put that link in the show notes. What are some of the brands, like some of the homeopathic that you recommend?
there's a whole list, girl.
There's a whole list.
A whole list. So
Okay.
I'm just going to go with Get With Me if you want those.
Okay. Yeah, and her link will be in the show notes also.
Also, there's like Bach flower remedies. We do sell that in the store. And those are really good for like emotional problems or psychological trauma, PTSD, severe stress. Those are good. And then amino acids. I know we talked a little bit about them.
I've been taking a lot of amino acids here lately. Yeah. What are some of your go-tos?
So tryptophan, L-tryptophan is one of my favorites. I slept all night. I have not done that in years. So it helps with sleep. It helps with stress and depression. And then also people who are bipolar have really low tryptophan levels. So people who are bipolar actually need to take L-tryptophan.
Yeah. I take it every night. It's supposed to boost your serotonin levels.
Yes.
Like help your body to... The amino acids are like our body is missing these neurotransmitters, and then they like can add that neurotransmitter where our body can make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it just is going to optimize like the serotonin and the dopamine levels.
Okay.
So then we have tyrosine, 5-HTP.
Tyrosine's more for like ADHD and like focus.
Yeah, it helps with that as well, but it also helps with like stress and anxiety, depression, and all of that. Mm-hmm. The 5-HTP can also help you sleep. Like sleep's really important. Also, like ashwagandha is great for stress and anxiety. L-theanine helps with stress and anxiety and your mental focus, so that's good for like people who have ADHD. Also, I've seen a lot of people who have ADHD are deficient in some of their B vitamins.
Yeah. I think a lot of our mental health problems are just like vitamin deficiencies. Like
and mineral deficiencies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the like, is that all the amino acids that you had?
Yeah, I just wrote down like my top 3.
Okay.
There are a lot more.
Yeah, I like L-glutamine too.
Yes.
It's really good for like repairing your gut lining and
building muscle.
Yeah.
It's really good for a lot of things.
And some of these things could just like have a placebo effect. You automatically just feel...
That is real. You think something's going to work and help you, it's going to work and it's going to help you.
Like I take so many vitamins now, I'm just like, I don't even know which ones are making me feel good, but I would be scared not to take them. Do you get that?
Yeah. I muscle test a lot of stuff and I'll switch stuff out a lot, but like right now I've been on the same regimen for like the last month and my bioscans have been coming back so good.
Okay, so let's get into muscle testing because people probably don't know.
So it's muscle reaction testing. What that is like the study of the movement of energy. It is part of like applied kinesiology. That's like the scientific term. Because people ask me all the time, is this witchcraft? Like, what is this?
Yeah. So how would you do it?
So you have to check your polarity. You have to make sure your energy is able to muscle test correctly. So if you are in polarity, you will...
How do you check that? Like what?
See a practitioner, aka me.
But like if you're at a muscle test for like everything, I'll be grocery shopping and I'm like, does my body need this right now?
Yes.
And
so what you're going to do is you're going to say your name and your age, and you should pull forward. You want to be standing there with your knees relaxed and your tongue flat, so not on the like roof of your mouth or curled up or moving around or anything like that. You want to be relaxed. So if you're in polarity, that means your body's giving you the okay to muscle test. So then you take the product, the food, whatever, you put it to your chest and you ask yourself, does my body need this? If you need it, you pull forward. If you don't need it, you push backwards. Your
body would just like naturally.
Yes, but sometimes if it's a blend, there's something in it you need and something you don't need. So you kind of like go to the side or kind of like sway in a circle. Your body it can't really say yes or no because it's saying yes or no. Like there's something in there you need and something you don't need. So it's always good to come in and learn how to do that from somebody and not just listen on how to do it.
Yeah.
Be shown like the right ways and how to get back in polarity if you're not, because that's confusing to explain. Like it's going to be too hard to explain on the podcast.
Okay.
But once you come in and like if you have a session with me or whatever and I show you how to muscle test, like I taught it to you for life, so you can use it, whenever. I use it for crazy things, like
I'll use it for like, is this strain of weed going to be good for me today?
I've done that. I'm not gonna lie. Also, when I did get me a little like mixed drink, I muscle tested. It was in a can, but it was like a little mixed drink. So I don't drink, but like I just wanted to sip on something because everyone around me was not peer pressure, but like I was like, let me just have a sip.
Yeah.
So I literally was like, if my body says no on all of this, I'm not getting anything. I don't have to like look cool or whatever. But my body said yes on something, but it was like mango coconut water. So it's like spiked.
Balance.
Yeah, I was like, so when I'm sweating out from this alcohol, this coconut water is replenishing. Made me feel better. I just took a few sips. We can definitely cut this out.
I'm sure my audience has drinks sometimes. Maybe a lot of times. Anyways, back to the mental health.
Okay, so also I want to talk about magnesium. Pretty much everybody in the U.S. is deficient in magnesium. It helps everything from your muscles, your heart, your brain. Go get some magnesium. Omega-3s, which I've already kind of touched on in your diet. And then saffron is like a spice. I sadly can't have that. I think I'm allergic to it. But it works really, really well for like boosting your mood and for your emotions. And I think it works really well with rosemary. A vitamin D with a K2 is never a bad thing. If you're deficient in vitamin D, you probably have some mental health issues.
And the vitamin D goes back to the sunlight thing.
Mm-hmm. And then mushrooms, so like lion's mane is really good for reducing like irritability, anxiety. The reishi helps promote like calmness, mental focus, boost your mood, improve sleep. The shiitake is a great source of vitamin B. So if you didn't want to take a supplement, you could just eat the mushroom. Yeah, that's all that I have wrote down right now.
So that's a lot. So what do you think the most important ones are? Maybe people don't want to take 12 vitamins.
Well,
I
don't recommend taking 12 vitamins just starting off either. Obviously, it depends on your body. I'll go back to the muscle testing to see what your body specifically needs. But if you just want to like go try something for stress and anxiety, ashwagandha is always good. Man, it will raise your sperm count. So heads up.
Okay. Okay.
You got to be careful when you're taking the ashwagandha. It also helps men build muscles as well. Also, the magnesium, ashwagandha, and like I said, a methylated B vitamin complex. Those are probably the ones I would start with. I actually sell that combination a lot in the store.
Okay. Yeah, I take that one, a methylated B vitamin. Because, all right, the methylation, it sounds like a really big word, but there's like the MTHFR. Do you know about that?
Yes, so it's a gene mutation. If you have that gene mutation, your body does not methylate things properly. Your phase 2 detox is off. Like it can't detox properly. So I don't vaccinate my children because we do have the gene mutation, because there are some toxins and things.
I think I have it too.
Yeah. Well, there are indicators. There are different indicators, like the little sugar bug vein across the nose. If you see a little baby that have like that blue vein across their nose,
Lindy had that.
That's an indicator. Stork bite.
And she had a stork bite, like
hemangioma. It can be on their forehead or on the back of their neck. Hemangioma. My son had that. Like a strawberry, but his whole arm was covered.
I was asking because like sometimes that can present itself as like mental.
Yes.
Mental illness.
Well, you got to think about all this toxins you can't get out of your body. It's going to be stored. Your body is going to try to store it. So like those amino acids we were talking about, if you're deficient on those, your body's going to store toxins in place of what you're deficient in. So then if you think about it, your body cannot detox properly because it needs those amino acids and
oh my God.
Yeah, L-glutamine is really important too, or when it comes to MTHFR.
Yeah. I feel like we go out here and we take all this other shit thinking it's gonna, like I used to take a lot of pills and I feel like I've replaced them as an adult with vitamins, like my new trippy kit.
I'm like 33 years old, carrying my little vitamin case with me in my purse, have to eat a digestive enzyme with every meal.
Me too.
But literally if I don't, it messes up my liver so bad.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about digestive enzymes. Why are those important?
Well, you have to break down the food properly or your gut health is just going to be so off.
Yeah, you can't really get like the nutrients from your food.
You can't. And then you start having all these other problems.
when I started taking digestive enzymes, my skin, you remember how bad my skin used to be?
Yes.
Yeah. It really helped clear it up a lot. I don't know.
So if I don't take digestive enzymes, I start having liver pain. And then my blood sugar is kind of elevated. My cholesterol is high. All from the digestive enzymes. Because my body can't digest things properly. So it just messes up the whole function.
Yeah, digestion is really important.
Yeah.
Really important.
What's up, Soul Fam? We're taking a quick break from the episode so I can tell you about our sponsor, Everything Tailored. That is me. That is my small business. And I wanted to tell you about it because I make these like really dope t-shirts. I remember when I first started my spiritual journey, I was always trying to find a t-shirt about it. And the ones I found were either really ugly or like $50 because they were trying to save the environment or something. And me, like, I love the earth, but I'm also trying to like save money because I have bills and a kid, you know, and a lot of other stuff to buy. So I decided to start making my own, and they are cute as fuck. Like, it's giving happy hippie boho vibes, and I wear them like at least twice a week. I have this Believe in the Divine shirt that I rock on the days when it feels really hard to trust the universe, because we do have those days. And I have the Self-Love Club design that I put on when I start to forget that I am that bitch. So you might need that reminder, you know? One of my best sellers is the Stay Weird shirt, and it's got these cute little mushrooms on it, and it's just a great way to let the other weirdos know that you're out there, because we are out here. And I can show you better than I can tell you, so click the link in the show notes to check out the entire collection. When I started Everything Tailored, the mission was to make the world a brighter and better place. And if you're listening to this podcast, I know that you are out here trying to raise the vibration of the planet. And hopefully that is important to you. And when you wear these shirts, not only can you vibe high and look fly, but when we wear these positive messages, it sends that shit out into the universe and it creates a ripple effect. Okay, we're getting back to the show now, but don't forget to support my small business if you want to support the podcast. I love you guys.
So are there any other things that you would recommend other than supplementation and changing the way you eat?
Obviously, like getting outside, exercising. You don't have to go hit the gym hardcore, but like walking, just yoga, Pilates, stretching, just being active.
Getting in your body and out of your mind.
Yes. Going and lifting heavy, it did. I don't really like get in the gym like that anymore, but it did used to help me a lot when I was struggling with my mental health. Like I'd be in there mad and I would feel so relieved when I left because I just like...
I worked out last night actually for the first time in a long time, and it was like I was thinking about some bullshit before I worked out, and afterwards I was just like, like it just seemed like I don't know,
like an afterthought. Like it was just
like I had my power back. I think it helps you take your power back whenever you move your body.
I feel like it just helps things be in alignment. You can't just be stagnant and think you're going to be in alignment. Like it kind of goes, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to move. Yeah,
because our bodies are like holding all this energy. When you move your body, you're like moving that energy.
Moving the energy, for sure.
Yeah. And also like our body language tells us, you know, how we're feeling. If we're hunched over like this, we're going to be feeling like, you know, anxious, insecure, and then just like... And
open and confident, and you're breathing properly. Your lungs can expand fully. You can take your deeper breaths.
Yeah. Breathing is fucking important.
Yes, breath work.
Yeah.
Mindfulness. Mindful eating also. I know I wrote that down, but like mindfulness goes so far. Like people think mindfulness is like, oh, meditate, but like it's something as easy as like journaling your thoughts. Okay, because you could have had like the worst day ever. You go write about it, you cry, you feel better. You didn't walk around with it all day. You did not walk around with that all day. Yeah.
A lot of times we're carrying around shit, and because we don't process it, we don't ever get it out. like a lot of people don't have that safe person that they can go to and talk to about their problems.
Okay,
so.
or like afford therapy. Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally be your own therapist.
For
with
sure.
journaling
is probably one of my favorite things. And you just think about it like, oh, that's so dumb. And especially men, they don't want to journal.
No,
but
we're like, what
like-
if somebody reads this? Like, I remember my mom reading my diary growing up, and I didn't write one
Okay,
for
so
a
I had a
long time.
diary too, but I was like low-key journaling my whole life and had like
Yeah.
no idea that's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's also really good to like reflect back on. Like, so you can
Yes.
notice which patterns that you keep going through, and it can just give you clarity on what your thought process
There's
is.
nothing better than turning back to an old like journal entry and like seeing the growth, or like just seeing the growth as you're writing. Like you're
Mhm.
actually processing it as you're writing, and like you're your own motivation when you see that.
Yeah.
Like you get so excited, like, oh my gosh, I've already been through this, and like this, like you said, you can recognize a pattern, but like you just be your own hype man too when you're journaling,
Yeah.
like looking
'Cause
back.
you can start when you're writing. You can start. Today was a shitty ass day, but then by the end of like you processing it, it's like you can start writing some positive affirmations and things like that,
Yeah.
and just really shift your mind state about things.
I journal different too. I don't just sit and write my feelings. Like I will a lot. But like sometimes I will do something simple as like, okay, I know if I'm struggling with gratitude that day, I'll just write like the ABCs down. And for every letter, I'll find something I'm grateful for.
I remember you sent me that. You was like, I wrote your name next to the letter T. That's a really good practice.
That's a really good practice when you just can't get it out. When you just, like you're struggling really bad and you don't even feel like putting your feelings on the paper, or you know, you can't think of like what you're grateful for that day because like, I mean,
Your mind is so consumed by the bullshit. It's like, what? You really
Yeah.
expect me to be grateful right now? But you can be going through bullshit and still be grateful at the same time.
I mean, two things can always be true at once.
Yeah.
Like I'm very big advocate on that little saying for sure.
Yeah, I feel that for sure, especially when it comes to like kids.
I just tell myself it's the law of polarity.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of like, let's get into the kids. Do we want to get into kids today? But I feel like a lot of my audience
I
members
mean,
are
this
moms.
is the mental health episode.
But yeah, and kids do impact your mental health
Man,
a lot.
they can drain it. They can drain it, but they also can help you when they come hug you and you're feeling all down and it's like instant, like, okay, I'm good. I gotta quit crying. I gotta go be mommy.
Yeah.
But like,
You can regulate your nervous system.
they can. But like, you do that to them too.
Yeah, they all like co-regulate. They pick up on your feelings and emotions.
Mhm.
But how do you think that, like, what's your biggest struggle with being a mom in mental health?
Honestly, like yelling at my kids because I'll be like, not even just stressed out, but like overwhelmed.
Yes, overstimulated.
Overstimulated.
Oh my
Like, you
God.
know, like my dog's collar is clinking as he's running and I'm hearing his nails and I have a kid crying in the other room and like, I don't know, the air fryer is going off or like another
So
kid
mean.
has to be ran somewhere and I'm trying to do like 10 things at once and there's only one of me. I am a single
Oh my
mom.
gosh, yeah.
So like it does get overwhelming, but like I have to walk off and go take deep breaths. I have to go like journal.
Yeah. But I think the deep breaths is a really, like, people always say just take a deep breath. And it sounds cliche, but it really does
Yeah, so like
work.
if you breathe through your nose and like out your mouth, that is the best way to like calm yourself down.
Hmm. Do you think it'd be working whenever the kids are really bad?
Yeah, but I got to go like outside or in my bedroom, shut the door.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to like stop and take a deep breath though. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, quit tapping on my arm. You know what I mean? And then I feel bad because they're just
Yeah.
wanting my attention. But I'm like, you just touched me like 10 times in a row and it just,
You're just overstimulated. I think a big part of it is like you were saying, being hard on yourself about it. That's not.
oh
You
yeah.
feel bad. You feel bad because you want to be the perfect parent. There's so much pressure. in
So
life.
I've tried to make it be like, so when I get to that point, instead of like beating myself up over it, I just go apologize to my kid for losing my cool, but also explaining to them why that happened. Like, I'm sorry,
If
there
you
was
wanna
just
prevent
too
this.
much going on, and I asked you to like please wait, and you still kept tapping on me and tapping on me and tapping on me, and like, I'm sorry. then I also will point out, okay, you know, and like your brother did this to you, and you also, and
getting them to understand.
Yeah, because
really
like
feel
when
like
they see
that.
me walk off and go take my deep breaths, or you know, go write in my journal, like
they're learning those tools to regulate their own emotion. And I feel like that sorry it's so powerful.
I never heard it growing up.
Never, like, that's breaking the generational curse.
But see, my kids would come apologize to me.
I know, because it's a learned behavior. They learn it from you. Lindy will be like, I'm sorry for crying so much, Mommy.
Yeah, well, Lyndon came up to me and she was like, I'm sorry I was being a brat and yelling at you and being rude and embarrassed you in front of my friend. And like, she just kept going. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow, yeah, because it's like they see you taking accountability, and so they learn to take accountability.
So my daughter is actually like told me, like, you don't say it's okay when someone apologizes. You say, I accept your apology, because it's never okay.
Ah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Or I forgive you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to be forgiving people without the apology. But that's just a whole nother episode. Yeah.
Definitely. A whole different episode.
Yeah, back to the kids. Back to the kids. We love the kids.
Also, working on their gut health, too, is important.
Yeah. Let's get into the what don't we want to feed our kids?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Not fast food. But, I mean, like, I get it. I'm a busy mom. Sometimes it's just easier to, like, run by Wendy's or something. You know?
I get it. For sure.
And, like, if we do that, I try to, like, definitely limit it.
But I was asking because you're talking about dyes a lot. And I don't know much about that, so I want you to go into it.
Okay, kids who have the MTHFR, they can't detox properly. Those dyes, they can't be like metabolized the right way. So it can make kids act up, like red dye. I know like everyone's heard about red dye, right? But like it makes my son hyper, and the blue makes him sad. And the yellow makes them irritable.
That's so crazy.
It is crazy. And there's dyes in everything that you would not think there was. But also, I'm finding, I have to look at labels when I shop. I'm finding that there's more and more things out there that are being like naturally like colored, like with turmeric or beets. It's crazy.
What are some like healthy things that it's hard to find things like that your kids will eat that are healthy? What are some like that you recommend that your kids?
My kids will eat fruits and vegetables. They also will eat like a healthy protein bar. Honestly, just going to the grocery store and like shopping at like Natural Grocers or like Truck Patch or Whole Foods, just seeing the different options is always a good start.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to just take everything away at first, because they're going to be like, I want my Pop-Tart.
It can cause them to have an unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
I remember when I was trying to like tell Lindy, you can't have sugar. We can't and then so she would like, anytime she got sugar, she would eat so much of it. And
so my son is like that. When we go to my grandparents and he gets in their drawer, he'll just go crazy. But that's because, like, I don't buy those things. They're not available in our house. So, like, when he goes over there, he knows he can have it. But when he's at home, he eats healthy. He eats all our healthy things. Like,
so it's all about balance. We just hope they're going to be good.
I mean, you just gotta teach it to them, you know. And they might not appreciate it now, but they will when they're older.
Yeah.
When they are like actually like not taking their health for granted, because, like, let's be real, kids don't think about that thing. I mean, young adults really are not really thinking about it a lot either.
Definitely not. And then I don't even know, like, if I knew at that age, like, I probably still wouldn't have cared. I probably still would have chose pizza rolls, you know?
I grew up with somebody who was always on me about, like, my weight because she was bigger. So she would be like, oh my gosh, you need to, like, go on a diet, or you should eat healthier. So, like, it's kind of always,
too.
But it wasn't, like, a bad thing for me. Like, it got on my nerves, but I understood that's like, she just doesn't want me to end up like her. But also at the same time, like, it also helped me like realize, probably I was a teenager, definitely, like, okay, I cannot just live off Hot Pockets and pizza rolls and bagel bites. Like, I have to. And I liked, like, fruits and vegetables. I always ate them.
I think it's just harder to prepare them. It's just more work.
It is.
But though it's worth it. Like, I feel so much better now that I'm, like, conscious of the foods that I put in my body. So I love that you started off the episode talking about that.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's very important, so.
And you were just talking about, like, natural grocers and stuff like that. So what are, like, I know natural grocers has, like, all organic fruits and vegetables. So let's get into, like, why people should go organic.
Pesticides, herbicides are super toxic, and organic, they have less. I'm not going to say they don't have any because, like, they just have less. But even non-GMO is a better option than just a regular whatever is on the shelf. I personally will not eat any fruit that is not organic because the skin on the fruits are so thin and they absorb those pesticides. I actually had a friend send me a video about some strawberries that they had that were not organic, and they, at the end of the season, they like kept the strawberries and I don't know if they dried them or what they did, but they kept the strawberries and they used them the next year on the actual strawberry plants that were growing and as a pesticide because they were full of pesticides.
Oh my gosh.
So it was just like a process. They could just keep using that on the berries from the season before.
And so what does organic mean? Because I think a lot of times people are thinking, like, if something's organic, that means it's healthy and it's going to be nasty.
First of all, a label can say organic, and it can be organic, like chip, or, you know, like, just because it says organic doesn't mean it's a healthy food. It's a healthier option.
Yeah. The lesser evil.
And also, I don't know about you, but, like, organic fruit be so fire.
So it has, like, more flavor.
Yeah.
It's organic means real to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I haven't personally found something that I was like, oh my God, it's organic. It tastes gross.
No.
I'm always like, oh, this is so good.
I'm just saying before I got into my health journey, I was thinking, like, this organic shit, that's healthy. That's not good. Like, people think that healthy foods are not good, and that's why they don't do it.
I mean, there are some that are not that great.
Like olives. I don't like olives.
God, olives are so good for you.
Yeah, we'll take
olive
a vitamin.
oil. You need some
olive oil. I love olive oil. Yeah. But anyways, where were we going with this?
I don't know.
Okay, I feel like we're getting a little off topic, but I really wanted you to touch on, like, some other modalities that you use, because, like, before we did this podcast, she did, like, a little emotion code session on me. I was feeling nervous, and I felt a lot better, like, when we came in here. So you want to talk about that emotion code?
Sure. So I actually took a course on, like, trauma last year, maybe the year before, and how to move the trapped trauma and the emotions from your body. So that is something that I offer as well. And the cool thing is you never have to tell me, like, what's going on in your head. So a lot of people are like, okay, I have all these feelings that I want to work through, but I don't want to have to, like, explain my situation or
relive it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they don't want to tell you the story because then it feels like they got to relive it in order to feel the.
So with the little emotion code session we just did, was why I made sure to, like, when I told you to think about the feeling and what it looked like and what it felt like and where you felt it in your body, and then put it way across the map. Like, that is so you don't relive it. You put it far away from you, so subconsciously you're not, like, stuck in that cycle. You're focused on what I'm saying.
I love that. And why do you think it's important for us to, like, process these emotions?
Because they show up, like, they manifest physically. You can have, like, pancreas or spleen issues because you're holding on to all these emotions, or
in your body.
Yes, or you can have shoulder pain because you have a stored emotion in your shoulder that's causing physical pain.
So I read the book that I gave you too, like, and it talks about, like, when we go through an experience where we can't process that emotion, then we hold on to it in our body. Like, whenever we experience trauma, if we're not ready to process it, then we hold that emotion in our body. And so you think the emotion code, like, helps you release?
Yeah. I mean, those emotions will eventually turn into a sickness.
Yeah.
in some way.
What are like some examples, like you think, like how that would manifest?
Well, okay, so a client that I had last week, she came to see me for rheumatoid arthritis, but at the end of her consult, I went over the emotions that are associated with that, and it was like anger for not doing something she thought she should have done or not, and so she was angry at herself for not being who she needed to be back then, and so now, in her like late 40s, early 50s, here she is with rheumatoid arthritis, and
oh my God.
those emotions she still to this day struggles with. It is still an issue for her. So we actually have another consult coming up
to move the emotions. I feel like whenever my skin was really broken out, I had this fear of not being seen.
Right.
This fear of being seen. It was like a protection thing. It was like how it was manifesting.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like interconnected the mind, body, and soul.
Oh, it's all connected. It's all one. It's all one.
And it can sound like some crazy hippy dippy shit, but there's like actual studies behind like these emotions being stored in the body. And
That's
stuff.
like if you think about one organ being messed up, it's gonna mess up the whole body. Like,
because it blocks the flow of energy.
yeah. And everything is connected. So.
If somebody wants to work with you, how could they?
You can come see me at the store. Also,
where's the store located?
It's in Jonesboro, 1321 Stone Street. It's called Jonesboro Health Food Store.
Okay.
So I work there a couple days a week, and I also see consults there. I also am available like via Zoom, or I've even done it over FaceTime, girl. However you need to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me.
Okay.
I prefer to do it in person, but I don't have to.
Okay.
Only because seeing you in person, I can look at your eyes, I can look at your face, I can see different things that I can't see.
And feel the energy.
Yeah. But also, like, it's not always doable. I also have clients that, like, don't live here in Arkansas at all. So I do have to talk to them over the computer, over the phone.
But she really knows her shit. Anytime I'm, like, wanting to ask something about health or, like, is this vitamin affecting me in this way, I'll, like, send her a Snapchat. And, like,
Yeah.
I always feel like I have more clarity.
I love that. Love that.
Is there any more, like, any piece of advice that you like to leave listeners with?
Once you start noticing yourself, because I can always feel when the depression is coming. Usually it's close to my cycle.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we have to have a whole episode about the cycles.
Yes, we do. Get prepared to, like, with your supplements. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know that I'm starting to, like, not really spiral, but spiral. I need to go get back on my magnesium or ashwagandha or tryptophan or whatever. Like, don't just struggle through it on your own. Reach out. Find a health coach or a life coach. Find a therapist. Find a pastor. Find a friend that can, like, listen and not judge you. Like, don't struggle on your own, and don't think this is like something's so wrong with me. Like, yeah, it's probably you're probably deficient in some vitamins or something. Like, don't, like, no one's perfect. Even the gurus, they struggle.
Yeah.
I am a certified life coach, certified health coach, certified Lyme disease specialist, and I still have days where I have to call you my life coach, or you know, I'm like, Taylor, I'm texting you, like, this is what's going on. Like, come on,
I remember
coach.
messaging being like, can I still be a life coach if I'm going through this bullshit? Like, it's like, we think that when we get the certificate, then we'll never go through anything bad again. That we should have all the
jokes
answers.
on us. But that's how you relate to people, is by going through things. So
Yeah.
Who knows? You guys might be recording a podcast on mental health one day.
Yep. I really feel like what you're saying, like reaching out to somebody, because we feel like when we're
like a burden, you're a burden. You don't want to, like, bother them with your problems. Everyone has their own problems, but, like, a real friend is going to sit and listen.
Yeah, and it helps. Sometimes it helps you to help somebody. You know?
Yeah. Or, like I said, just journaling if you don't have that friend or have someone to reach out with.
Yeah, I love that. So, thank you for being here on the podcast, Haley.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Been waiting.
Okay, and all of her contact information will be in the show notes. If this episode was helpful for you, then take a screenshot and share it to your stories. And also, if there's just any topics that you'd like for us to cover, if you want me to interview Haley about, since she is a health coach, then
just to let us know. Let us know what people are interested in hearing and learning about, what they need help with.
yeah, just reach out to me or reach out to Haley. Okay, love you guys. Bye.